The only people they know in tech are like Bill Gates, Steve Jobs, of course. Beyond that, I mean, most people don't even know who Wozniak is. They don't know who Paul Allen were, and those are like the parallel sidekicks that were probably as important on the technology side, more important, but they weren't the front people. You know, they weren't the lead singer of the band. They were the guy that was writing the songs and, you know, not getting a whole lot of credit for it. So I love the idea of trying to come up with the best history we can and telling the real story.
Right.
And of course, any history is going to be somebody's version of it, but to try to be as neutral as possible. I don't have a dog in the fight. So if we can somehow find the real story and give the people credit who deserve the credit, then at least somewhere, you know, they're recognized.
Well, you know what I found too, to some extent, is even the people that were really there, the story's a little warped, not intentionally.
Right.
But it's been so far back and so many thoughts and so many discussions that their own discussion becomes a little bit distorted, and they'll admit that too, but it's the best we're going to get.
Well, that's what you have to,
It's the best we're going to get.
I mean, on doing the real history, you have to get as much source documentation as you can. You have to go back to a source. You can't, you know, you've got to trail it all the way back and look at those references. And that's the problem with the internet, is that everybody's making all these statements, everybody's accepting it as fact, and there's no reference to it. And even Wikipedia, I mean, they'll tell you that if you don't have that bill of reference at the end, and actually look at them, because they could be just making up stuff. It takes a lot of work. So, you know, it'd be very clear that either that's listed as a computer in you know, that year's report, or it's not. And if it's there, that's not real arguable.
Right.
So that's what you're looking for, not that the guy says it, but that you actually find that document. And it's like you said, with the Kenbach is that way with the two founders. That they were going at each other, not founders, but you know, there's one guy, Blankenbacher, who actually designed it and created it, and then you've got another guy who is Nielsen, and he created the Nielsen Institute just outside Charleston, and he bought most of the Kenbachs, and he also bought or got as part of that the right to market them all. So he had the exclusive right to market them. And depending on how you interpret the document and what you believe, he lost the right to market it or the exclusive control of it because he didn't do it. He only used it for his school and for classes, and he didn't really sell any to the public. So then Blankenbacher, who's in his 80s now too, is saying, no, you didn't honor the agreement, therefore it comes back to me.